Hi there, this is Paris Christou from Toonboxstudio.com and welcome to this tutorial for beginners to Autodesk Sketchbook Pro 6. Now this video is for all the people who just now found Sketchbook Pro, thinking about purchasing it or just bought it and want to learn to use it. This video is going to teach you how to get around the software, and I'll be also showing you how I use it as well. And for you guys that have owned the previous versions of Sketchbook Pro, you're going to get to see the new features, what there is around here. And also, if you want to learn the shortcuts to some stuff, then by all means, watch this video and you'll be learning it. So, let's get started. First of all, just as the title of this software is called Sketchbook Pro, you got to treat this software like a sketchbook, okay? For example, when you start up the software, you're gonna have this white page, okay? If I just quickly zoom out, there you go, you can see the paper, okay? So it's just like having a sketch pad, and you just turn the cover over and you got your first piece of paper, okay? So that's what we're gonna be calling it, the paper, okay? Some people like to call it the canvas. Now, what do we have here? Okay, now you should actually have this as well when you open it. These are called windows, okay? These are windows. Just like every single software, these are windows, which you can locate in the Windows tab. Here they all are, okay? So you can turn them off and turn them on through here. They all have this little X button, okay, where you can turn them off as well. Now, before I go forward, if you look at my mouse cursor or my pen stylus cursor, you're gonna see this pen. Now, the reason there's a pen there, it doesn't come with Sketchbook Pro, so don't get confused. When I'm recording my videos, I set the software that records them to change the cursor to a pen, so when I save it and upload it on the web, you guys can follow easier what I'm doing. So I actually see what you guys see, and it's this crosshair, okay? Now, also Sketchbook Pro has the option to get rid of this crosshair and just have nothing. But yeah, you can't add a pen. So anyway, let me just quickly, briefly take you around the whole of the software. It's the easiest software that I highly recommend to every artist out there. It's the easiest one to learn. It's quick, okay? So you don't need to go through a million different places in the software to get to one tool or something to do something, okay? Everything is bang in front of you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna close this down and show you everything one by one, okay? So let me close these guys down as well. Okay, so first, this area here is called the lagoon, okay? Now, in the lagoon area, we have all these little icons here that if you press down and hold it there, other options pop up, okay, which you just drag to select one of them. In this case here, it's just about the lagoon, where to place it and stuff. You can have it, for example, you can put it on the right hand side and stuff, or you can put it back. This one here is for zooming and rotating the canvas and fit into view, the ruler and all that stuff, layers, symmetry, etc. Here's your brush tools, paint palette there as well, the paint wheel, the color wheel. Here you have the selection tool, lasso, to clear a layer and stuff, copy, paste, cut, crop, and this one move, rotate, scale the layer. Okay, and here's where you open, new, save, close, all that stuff. These two here, for example, if I just draw these 5 lines here, this is the undo and redo buttons, which is any digital artist's best friend. Okay, so you can undo by pressing the red arrow, the green one redoes it, okay, like so. You can have maximum up to 30 undos, which is perfect. That's all you need. Now, these two here, the top one, this little circle guy here, if you press it, it opens the tool palette, okay, the palette with all the palette with the tabs with all the brushes and stuff. This one below opens the color wheel with all your colors and stuff, where you get to snatch your colors from. Okay, so you can open those two from here, and you can also open it from the Windows tab as well. Okay, now the color palette, okay, it's a wheel. Okay, now this is a Windows version, guys. So on the Mac, the only difference is with the Mac is this area here, the color wheel. It does exactly the same thing. It just looks kind of different. That's all. But yeah, you select any color around this circle. Okay, let's say this blue, for example, and then in this triangle, we have different tones or shades of that blue. The more you come to the right hand corner is the more saturated the color is. The more you come to the left hand side, okay, the desaturated the color gets. Also, the higher you go up here to this corner, the brighter the color gets, and the lower you go, the darker it gets. And here on the side you have your white to black, different shades there, okay, also. This is your color picker, which means, let's say I paint a bit of, I'll make my brush a bit, whoops, make my brush a bit bigger. Let's say I paint blue, and then I paint some pink, okay, and I want to go back to the blue. I just use this color picker, select it, and pick the blue, and bang, I'm ready to go straight away, okay. Pick the pink, and I'm ready to go straight away. So that's a cool little feature. This little arrow, if you press it, drops down this little palette here, where you can save your colors. Okay, so say I like this pink and I want to reuse it at one point. I leave it here, and it's always going to be there until you get rid of it, until you replace it with another color or something. So let me close that down. So that explains what this does. Okay, let's continue. Let's go here now. I don't want the pink. Hold on. Give me a black. That's it. Here we go. Now this area here, where all your tools and brushes and stuff are. If you drag up and down, you got more options. Okay, different brushes, different tools. Let's call it tools because they're not all brushes, are they? Okay, so the first one's a pencil, and just like in every type of artistic software, no matter which one you're using, there's always tons of tools. But doesn't mean that we all actually, I don't believe anybody uses every single one of those tools. But they are designed specifically for each individual artist. So depending what kind of style you are, whether you're an illustrator, whether you're a graphic designer, whether you're a painter, even architect, okay, no matter what type of artist you are, the brushes, the tools are here to help you, okay. So you can pick a few of those tools that will help you do your magic, okay. So as the first one says, if you hover on top, it says pencil, airbrush, okay, and it goes all the way down, okay, until you see this one here. It says do it yourself brush. This one you won't have it, okay. Do it yourself brush means that I created it. It's a custom made brush, okay. I made this one. So everything else is in the power of Sketchbook Pro. This guy here, you got these two guys here, okay. This one here shows your brush library. So if you click on it once, you got more options, okay. So you can also hold down and drag one into the tools palette so you can keep it, you know, depending what you want. You can swap around brushes and tools and stuff, so you can reorganize it the way you want to have it. Also this little guy here, if you can see it, those bunch of dots in a circle, if you hold it down, you can create a new brush set, delete a brush set, create a new brush. This one's the delete brush. This one copies a brush. This one imports, exports, and you can rename the brushes as well, okay. Actually, let me make a new brush just so you can see what it's like. New brush, you pick what type of brush you want to, what type of tool you want to create. Okay, let's say you want to create, I don't know, a paintbrush or something, okay. And you press create, okay, then you double tap on it, and from here you mess around with all the settings to get the brush exactly how you want it. These are all a bunch of settings here for this specific brush, okay. And once you're happy with it, you press save, and it will go here, okay. I'm gonna press cancel, and I'm gonna delete this brush like that. Okay, so that covers that. Alright, now this little guy here, if you tap on it once, it brings up the settings for the brush that you have selected, or the tool you have selected, which in this case is the pencil, okay. So this means I can drag up and down, left and right, to form the different size type pencils. If you can read this little area here, it says size 6B, 8B. You can always bring it down to HB and downwards, okay. So you can mess around with it, find the actual one you want, and I usually use like 64B. Anyway, so cancel that. Let me erase that, get out of the way. Hold on, give me a sec. There we go. Okay, Now, if you go to the other brushes though, the other tools, let's say the airbrush, okay, or this brush here, and you open this. Let me see if there's another one. Anything more specific? Here we go. See, you get more options. Okay, the more there's some tools that actually have tons of options. I can't remember which ones really do have them, but yeah, so you can play around with those. Also, you don't need to press this button. You can also double tap on the actual brush or tool that you're using. Okay, so it's really that simple, okay, to work out how to modify the tool that you're using. So let's say you're going to be using the pencil, the paintbrush, and I don't know, the airbrush, for example. Let's say those 3 brushes. Well, all you gotta do is just double tap each one of them and figure out how you want it to help you create your magic on the paper. Okay, so that's what that's all about. What else do we need here? I think that covers enough there. Now let's talk about windows, the color puck, and the brush puck. The white one is the brush puck, okay? Now the black one's called the color puck. Now what do these two do? Basically, let me get the pencil or the paintbrush. Okay, the white one here, the brush puck, if you hold down in the middle and drag left, right, any way you want, it changes the size of the brush. So if I want to go smaller, just drag left and so forth. Okay, this is superb. Okay, I have never seen any other software that uses anything like this. Okay, this is so fast. I don't need a keyboard, I don't need shortcuts, I don't need anything. I just quickly go drag, bang, and back and bang. I'm ready to go. Okay, so superb. This is going to be your best friend in the software. Also, if you go to is it edit preferences and go to brush here where it says brush puck, change both brush size and opacity. So if you have that checked, let me check it. Okay, let me bring this back in. This only works on all the brushes except for the pencil. Okay, have that in mind. Let me pick a color so it's a bit obvious. How about this reddish color? Okay, so if I go right or left, it does the size. If I go down, it's the opacity, and up. Okay, up obviously goes up to 100%, and keep your eye on the number there. If it's a 1, that means 100%. As you go down, and you know, if you go really down, yeah, so you can see that. Oops, made it too big. So really up brings it to 100%. Okay, now since I have my brushes set to the way I want them, I don't really need that. But I know many of you guys, especially painters out there, that can really use that to their advantage. So I have that back there. So anyway, that covers that. Oh, also in the color puck, when you click on it, okay, it gives you the color wheel that's here. Okay, so you can select your colors. Okay, but instead of a triangle in the middle like this one here, it's a square, which does the same thing. Left and right is the saturation and desaturation. Up is how bright you want it, and down is how dark you want it. Okay, saturation and desaturation. What does desaturation and saturation mean? Okay, so the more saturated it is, the more to the right is the more warm the color is. Okay, and the more paint, let's say it like that, the more rich the color is. Okay, the more you go left is the cooler it gets. Okay, the cooler it gets. I like to see it as warm and cold. Okay, so that's how you work that out. And you can also do it by dragging up, it gets brighter, and down it gets darker. Let me select this, hold on. So if I go down, it gets darker, and up it gets brighter, which is really cool. Okay, so you don't have to go and mingle around with palettes and stuff. You just go straight into this puck and go, whoops, and go up. Whoops, what's going on here? You just go up to brighten it and down to darken it. Go right, it saturates it. Go left, it desaturates it. Look at it, it's going all the way to gray. Okay, so amazing tool that. I love it. So great shortcuts everywhere. Everything's fast. Okay, you don't need to think twice. You just go bang there. You know, once you know the software inside out, which I bet you'll learn it inside out after you finish this video, then you can get straight away stuck into creating your artwork. Now, Okay, so we've covered the perks, we've covered this toolbar here, and the lagoon, and this guy here. Okay, so now let's go to Windows toolbar now. This toolbar basically is it's a few shortcuts of what I showed you so far. Also, it adds a few more features for you guys to mess around with and play and create your magic. Okay, so here we go. We've got the redo and undo buttons here, just like we have here. You also have it in the edit, undo, redo as well. You also have, oops, undo. You also have the selection tool. Okay, so you can, let's say you've drawn something and you get the selection tool and you select this little area here. Now, before you set it down, you have these options that pop up. You can scale it up and down. You can rotate it. You can skew it. And you can move it. Once you're happy with it, press the X button and it sets it for you. The same thing with the lasso tool. The crop obviously crops it. Okay, so once you press the tick button, it crops it for you. Let's go back. This magnifying glass basically is all about zooming in and stuff. So if I select it, I can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, it zooms the canvas, not the layer. Okay, you can rotate it. Also move it. I'll be showing you all the shortcuts for all these things a little bit later on, and it'll also be in the description as well. Okay, let's go further up. Now we have the text tool. Here you can write, let's say hello. Okay, and if you highlight it, you can change the font. Okay, you can change the size to it. Let's say 28. You can make it bold and all that stuff. Okay, underline it, all that. Just like Word and stuff. So you can really mess around with that and press OK, and it's set for you. Before it gets installed on the paper though, it gives you a second option, which is to scale it, skew it, okay, rotate it, and move it. Everything's in really quick access. That's the beauty of this software. That's why it's my favorite software, and I recommend it to everybody. Then you've got this one here, which is a move, rotate, scale layer. Okay, remember the other one was the canvas. This one's for the layer. So whatever's on this layer, I can scale it, I can rotate it, and skew it, okay, and move it, and then press X to settle it down on the layer. So that's cool. Let me get rid of this. If you press delete on the keyboard, it gets rid of everything. Okay, so what's going on here? I need my layers tab. Hold on. And let me just delete this layer. Okay, now we're good to go. Okay, let's go further on. We've got the ruler. Okay, when you select this ruler, this pops up. You've got these two wheels here that if you position the ruler where you want it, okay, and then you've got this guy here, you can move it up and down, left, right, and you got X to exit. But let's say I set the ruler down and I just select what tool I'm going to use to draw this on this ruler. It does a dead straight line. Press X to get out, and you got it there. Okay. The same thing goes with this ellipse tool. This one skews it up and down. This one scales it, and this one moves it. This one rotates it, and this one exit it. So let's say I'm happy there. I'm drawing my perfect circle. I want to do those scientific, what do you call those spheres where you do this? I'm really bad with science, but anyway. So there you go. I've got my little design going on. Okay. So that's what that does. You got this little character here, which is called the French curve. Okay. You can rotate it just like the other tools. You can move it. You can scale it. You can also exit it. And when you draw around it, that's what happens. You can also press this little guy here, and it changes the design. It's got tons of designs in it. And you can use this if you're stuck on a curve that you can't draw properly. For example, let's say I've got this, I don't know, a picture when this type of curve is actually, I could use it in there. You can zoom in, and there you go. You zoom in like that. Why isn't it zooming in? I don't know why it's not zooming in. Hold on. I don't know why it's not zooming in. But anyway, you can easily, there you go, that zooms in. Alright, so you can't zoom in. You can't zoom with this tool. You have to actually scale it to the size and rotate it to the position you want. Otherwise you won't do it. Alright, so besides that, That's how you use the French curves. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Press X and we get rid of these lines as well. Now, further down the line, these two are the symmetry tools. This is the horizontal one and the vertical one on the right. When you click it, this line appears. Whatever you draw on one side of the line, any side, it copies it to the other side. It's like the Sketchbook Pro is looking at a mirror. So this is how I start here and just draw. Look at that, it's following everything I do. I just draw a fish, and there's the eye. Okay, so you can really practice and do some really cool magic with that. The same thing is with this one here. Select it again to get rid of it. Okay, on and off. Now you can do it this way as well. You know, whatever you want to do. Even if you have both of them selected, you can do some really funky designs. So remember to deselect them to get rid of them. Okay, so that's what that does. This guy here is the free, I'll call it the freehand tool. Okay, when you want to draw, this button has to be selected at all times. Because if you don't, let me give you this example, which does lines, by the way. Yeah. So if let's say I wanted to draw a round circle, it won't let me. Okay, so I need to have this selected at all times so I can do my little circle. Okay, so I've told you what this guy does lines for you. So all you graphic designers or architects and stuff, or if you're interested in comic book artists, you want to do some perspective lines and stuff like this, you know. Okay, that's a great tool to use. This guy here, the steady stroke. Let me pick a color like this. Okay, let's say I drew this line here, and I want to go over it with a black line. Let's say this is a rough sketch, and I want to clean up my artwork now, and I select this. Let me get a paintbrush, bring down the line, and I select this. Okay, if you double tap, this pops up, less and more. Okay, what this means is how smooth you want your line to be whilst you're drawing. Let me demonstrate what it means. If I click down and drag, can you see this little like a little leash? That's what I like to call it. It's like I'm pulling something. It gives you control. So you could, if you're stuck on a specific curve that you can't draw, it helps you out there. Okay, the longer you have it, the more you have it, the longer the leash gets, so you get a little bit more control. It all depends on your specific judgment on how much you need. Okay, so it helps you. Anyway, a lot of people use this in Paint Tool SI. Okay, they love using that in Paint Tool SI. So yeah, test it out, have fun with it. And then as we're going forward, we've got the rectangle, which is exactly the same as the line tool. Just make circles and squares and stuff. The same with the circle as well. Okay. Also, if you change the tool, you get some really cool effects. Yeah. So yeah, play around with it. This one here, the polyline, is a click and drag sort of thing. So you click once, drag, click, and when you're happy with the design, whatever you're doing, just double tap and it just forms your line. Obviously, if you use a different tool, it does, you know, the effect of that tool, so you can really go retro. Anyway, let's go forward. This one here is called, what's it called? The oval. Okay, drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, we've done that already. So anyway, let's go forward. This one opens your layers tab and closes it, the same as down here. Okay, and the same as Windows layers. Where is it? Layer editor. Okay, so besides that, this one here turns off and on your brush palette. This one turns off and on the color palette, and this one here is for Copics library, where you got your Copics colors and stuff like that. Okay, so you just select the color and it's got the colors there. Okay, so you get to really get everything compact in one place. This is awesome. Okay, now we've covered this, so let me close this one down. I hardly use that because I have everything here. Here's a quick shortcut, okay, for you guys. Oops, see that? Circle came up because I didn't have the freehand selection, free stroke thing. Alright, the letter T on your keyboard gets rid of everything, okay? It hides everything, okay? The same thing also is the tab button, okay? You know, the tab button, which has like these arrows like this. Okay, this button on your left side of your keyboard, usually, that also gets rid of everything. So if you're drawing, you just don't want anything in your way, just press the T or the tab button and you're good to go. Okay. What else do I need to cover here? That's it. Now, layers. Okay, this is the question that everybody who's, if you're new to digital art, you're always asking, what is layers? How does it work? What do you do with it? All right, first of all, as good old Mr. Terry says, you have to imagine layers like pieces of glass, okay? And he has a very good point for saying that. So, as we open Sketchbook Pro, we've got this white background. Look here on the layer 1. This is the first ever layer. It says background. Okay, now let's say I drew. I'm going to use color to demonstrate this. I'm going to choose the blue. Make my brush a bit bigger, and there we go. We've got some blue paint. Boom! It goes straight away on this layer, so you can see it like a thumbnail. Okay, let me bring it here close so you can see it clearly. So now on this layer, we have this blue color. Okay, so if this one little plus sign here adds a layer. So if I press it, it adds a new layer on top. Now I want you to imagine this layer as glass. Okay, so we're looking through this glass, the top layer, which is on top of this blue layer, and we can see through it. And what do we see? We see this blue color. So if I was to choose, let's say a reddish color, and paint here over the top of a part of the blue color, it also appears in the thumbnail here of this layer. So you now know that in these two layers, which one is the blue and the red. And because this layer with the red color is on top of the blue, obviously the red paint is on top of the blue paint. This little two arrows that are pointing up and down here, if you hold down and drag, you can place it underneath the bottom layer. So now the red is now on the bottom because I'll put the red layer underneath the blue layer. Okay, and the blue layer is like a piece of glass. So with this glass has just a bit of blue paint on it. I can see through this glass, and underneath I can see the red. Okay, so this is what layers is all about. And why do we use it? Well, basically, when you're drawing and you're painting or whatever you're doing your work, and then one point you say, yes, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, let's make a new layer. Okay, and let's continue our artwork. And if you're happy with it, continue, make a new layer. Okay, and let's say I made a new layer on top of the blue, and I chose a yellow. Okay, and I decided to paint this bit here. Okay, obviously it's covering a part of the red and the blue because it's on top. Okay, there it is. If I drag it underneath, it's in between the blue and the red. Now let's say I'm happy with the red, the blue, and the yellow. If you hold down on a layer, before I go forward actually, if you can see on this layer, there's a blue box that highlights the layer. That means that you're using that layer at that present moment. You choose another one, that one gets highlighted, okay, and so forth. So let's say I'm happy with this layer. If you hold down in the middle, these pop up. This is a shortcut for making a new layer. This deletes a layer. This duplicates a layer. This hides the layer so you can't see it. So watch, the blue's disappeared. Which also is this eye. These eyes here also makes the layer hide away and disappear and stuff. Okay, this locks the layer. So if you lock it, I can't do nothing to it. See that? I can't draw on top of it or nothing. So let's say let's say you created some beautiful work and then you make a new layer and you don't want to destroy it by accidentally selecting the layer and drawing on top. Lock it so that you can be safe. This one merges with the layer below. Let me unlock it, by the way. There we go. This one merges this layer with the layer below. Okay, so if I select this, it will go and merge these two together. The one next to it merges all the layers together from here and downwards. Okay, rename a layer. So what's the rename layer bit? It's very, very vital. If you click this, okay, this pops up. Renaming the layer. Now, it's good to name your layers. Because if you have tons of layers and you don't know what they all are because so many things going on, it's great to name your layers. Okay, so this is what I do. Here it says show me what is on this layer. It shows you obviously this thumbnail, but if you check that off, it says background. Okay, so let's say I want to clear that image and I want to write, I don't know, let me select let me write it with yellow. Okay, let's say yellow. Actually, it's not. It's not. Actually, it's blue. Sorry, blue. Okay, and press OK. Now it says blue there for me. Okay, so if I've got to say a new layer, and on this layer I have a smiley face. Okay, and I want to name this layer. I hold down in the middle, drag to the right. I don't want it to show me a thumbnail. I just want it to show me what it is. So I can name it whatever I want. Let's say smiley face. Okay, smile or something. Or you can actually draw on it as well and press OK. So now I know this smiley face is here. Okay, so you can really play around with these things. Delete a layer, you hold down and press delete. Let's say I want to merge this below. You just merge it like that. And now the blue and the yellow together, as you can see, I just made it disappear. And if I actually undo that, there we go. And I'll press merge all, it merged everything. So look, everything's together. So that's the beauty of using layers, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how I demonstrate doing that. What else do we have here? You have the text tool, and here you can write text and stuff. So let's, like I did before, you know, exactly the way I did before on the main toolbar, which was at the top. Here you can add an image. Okay, so let's say I wanted to add the background to this. You just press that, find the image on your computer, and it bangs it in there for you. And this also erases whatever is on the selected layer, like that. Okay, so it's gone. About this image bit though, okay, if you go to File, Edit, Preferences, and go to here, okay, Options, Add Image, okay, Import into a new layer. Make sure it's ticked, just like I do, okay. Reason being, let's say you've done a beautiful drawing, I don't know, whatever you're drawing, okay, and suddenly you decide to put a new background on behind it or something. If you don't have that function ticked off, then what it will do is it will add that image to this layer where you drew the smiley face or your character, whatever you're going to do, and then you've lost, you know, you just destroyed what you've done. So it's good to have that checked, so when you add a new image, it opens straight away a new layer and has the image there, and you can just drag it wherever you want to put it. Also, let me select another color, paintbrush, make it nice thick. There we go. This here is the opacity of the layer. So the lower you get, the lower the opacity, and up the maximum it goes. Okay. Now, now let's go further in. Now that we've covered everything here, it's good to talk about shortcuts. The shortcuts that I use, guys. Obviously, I'm using a tablet here. I've got a Wacom Cintiq, and they come with these buttons on the sides of each side of the tablet, and I could set, you know, shortcuts to those buttons, so it saves me even more time. It gets even more faster, like undo, redo, that stuff, zoom in, rotate. The one thing that everybody wants to know is how do you rotate the canvas, okay? If you're on the previous Sketchbook Pro software, the buttons were this and this, okay? Would rotate it. In Sketchbook Pro 6, they changed it, and these two, basically what they do is they enlarge the size of your brushes, okay? So basically if I press those buttons, there you go, my size is getting bigger, and if I go down, it gets thinner, okay? So that's what those do now. But to rotate it, it's really simple. It's the number 9 to go to the left and 0 to go to the right. Okay. And if you've got it on, if you have it set to your tablet, and it's even more smoother than that. You can really go 360. Look at that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what that is. It's the number 9 and the 0. Okay, guys. Those two numbers would rotate the canvas. I'm going to have everything in the description, so don't worry about that. What else do we need to know? Okay, to zoom in and move around, it's Spacebar. So when you hold down Spacebar, this pops up. You can, let me just quickly draw something. You can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, you can rotate as well. Move it. Okay, it moves the canvas though. Alright, so that's what that does, Spacebar. What else? Let's say you've zoomed in, okay, and you want to, you know, fit it back to view. All you gotta do is press Ctrl and 0, Ctrl and 0, and it goes back to the way it was, the actual size of the page. All right, so that's Ctrl and 0. If you're on the Mac, it's Command and 0. What else do we need to know? The eyedropper. I use the eyedropper a lot, and the eyedropper key soft shortcuts is Alt. Okay, there you go. I'm pressing Alt, and I can now select any color I want. Okay, so if I was to draw like here and then press Alt, I could select the pink again and continue and so forth. So Alt is the one you need to know. Let me see, I've got this written down for me because I don't know everything off the top of my head. I have everything set to my Wacom tablet. Okay, here's a cool one. To draw horizontal and vertical lines, okay? Dead straight lines. Just hold down the Shift button and just draw straight line. Look at that. Yeah. Up as well. Great stuff, huh? So you can really go, look at that, dead straight. Everything is dead straight. Okay. You can also do diagonal lines by holding down the letter D. Okay, the letter D. Watch this. If I'm holding down D now, and look at that, diagonal lines. Look at that, skill, huh? So all that perspective stuff, you know, you can really get great work done from that. Okay, so let's go further down this menu here of my shortcuts that I've written down for you guys. All right, brush sizes. If you want a shortcut for the brush size, just like I do, I have the button ready for me. It's actually the letter B, okay, for the brush size. If you hold it down and drag left and right, it makes everything bigger. To the right it's bigger, to the left it's smaller. Just by holding down the B button. Okay. What else do we have here? Let me see. Where was I? Okay, swapping between brushes. Really cool tool. So let's say I'm using the paintbrush. Okay, and I'm painting, and I decide to erase a part of it, like that there. Okay, I've got the eraser now, yeah, and I'm erasing. And when I go back to using the paintbrush quickly without going all the way here to select it, all you gotta do is press S, and you're back again. I want to erase again, press S again, because that was a previous tool I used. If I select, for example, the pencil, draw, then I select the paintbrush, paint, and press S, I'm back to the pencil again, because that was the previous tool I used. Awesome tool, okay? You can be, let's say if you're a guy like me who uses just a few tools, okay, and let's say like the pencil for me is like a major tool for me, yeah, and I could go back and forward with that, let's say with the paintbrush or with the airbrush, so it's really cool to use. So that's S, okay, remember the letter S. What else do we have here? To open the, to add new layers and stuff is Ctrl+L, but I don't think you need it because you can easily just press that here. What else is there here for you guys that you might need? The normal basic undo, redo is Ctrl+Z, Ctrl+Y, or Command Z and Y. Just like in every single software. Basically that's it. Okay, so like I said before, T, that gets rid of everything as well. So those will be all in the description. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Now let me just demonstrate quickly how I use Sketchbook Pro. I actually use it for everything. So for you guys that are just new and just now found my videos and stuff, and you will know who the hell I am. Well, I'm Paris Christou. I'm from Toonboxstudio.com, and I'm a professional animator and illustrator. As an illustrator, I do comic books, I do pin-up art, okay, and also children's storybooks as well. So my channel is based on, my YouTube channel is based on a pin-up character called Cherry. So go ahead and check them out if you haven't seen her yet. Anyway, so I'm going to demonstrate now how I use Sketchbook Pro. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw, I don't know, anything that comes to top of my head. How about, let me see first if the pencil's okay. It's fine. How about I'm going to draw this funny little fox or something. So I'm going to just quickly draw a circle. And there we go. I'm going to add some eyes like that. Okay. And some pupils here. And the other eye on this side. The pupil there as well. I like to draw the pupil bouncing out of the eyeball. It's a technique used by Chuck Jones and Tex Avery. Okay, so you guys know who they are. If you don't know who they are, they're the guys that did the Looney Tunes and stuff, and they did also Tom and Jerry and loads more characters and cartoons that they did. Go and check them out. Google them. They're my, mentors that I've been studying all my life. Anyway, so yeah, this is gonna quickly just randomly just draw some kind of a fox sort of thing. All right, and demonstrate how I use it. All right, so we've got this snout going on here. Okay, and okay, we'll give him a little hairdo and some ears and an ear here as well. Okay, nice big mess, yeah. Anyway, that's what rough sketching is all about, making a big mess. And there we go. Okay, so I've just drawn this random fox here. Okay, so and yeah, there we go. Okay, so this big nose. All right, so I've got my fox. Okay, a really quick bad fox. All right, now it's on this layer. Make this eye a bit bigger. There we go. It's on this layer here. If I make a new layer on top, okay, I'm gonna just quickly select this layer here. Why is it on multiply? Hold on, it's meant to be on normal. Okay, and I'm gonna use the opacity to drag it down. I'm gonna bring it down to 50%, so it's nice and light, so I can clean it up. Okay, this little thing here, the lock transparency, I'm gonna explain it in a sec what it does. So I'm gonna select the new layer on top. I'm gonna pick a black color. I'm gonna zoom in. All right, and start cleaning this little guy up. Okay, I'm gonna go nice and slow so you can really see how I'm doing things. Alright, and whoops, there we go. And here, this guy's eye here, and there as well. Okay, we've got his eyes ready now. Alright, his eyebrows, give him nice little pointy eyebrows like that. And this eyebrow here. I'm just going to quickly just ink this up, just block everything in there. Alright, and okay, if you want to check out my website, I have tutorials going on there with Sketchbook Pro as well, so you guys can really learn how to use it. I've got tutorials on how to draw a cherry as well, so if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it for you. And loads more coming every month. Okay, so and let me just draw this nose in like that. Make a cheek, block it in. Let me quickly block this nose in like this. This big nose. Anyway, don't ask me why I chose to do a fox. But it actually looks quite cool. Randomly off the top of my head. Anyway, so we got a little sly fox, man. Okay, cool. So this guy here is actually good to go. I might actually use this as a character for one of my cherry videos. Alright, so we've got our fox. Let me just do his ears. Whoops, I'm rushing now. Just doing as fast as possible so I can quickly show you what else happens after this. Alright, let me just bang in this ear here, his little hairdo. Let me just do the hairdo. Alright, and you got his ears here. Actually, rotate it, bring it down. Okay. And also, foxes have this black little tips on their ears, don't they? Yeah. Alright, so let's do that as well. Okay. Let's zoom back out. There you go, Mr. Fox. Okay. So now if I hide the sketch layer, I can see my fox. It's not perfect, but not bad for a quick sketch though, yeah. So I've got my fox sketch cleaned up, and now if I select the sketch layer and add a new layer. Remember, when you add a new layer, it always goes on top of the selected layer. Now I want to paint underneath this line art or this cleanup art, so I have to have it below it. So what I do is I select the layer below and press new layer, and this pops up. You can also move it around, remember that. Okay, so I made the new layer and I want to quickly color him in give him a nice base color. I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to select like an orangey brownish color, like mustard sort of thing. There we go. That's a cool color. And I'm just going to quickly see this. The line art is on top of my paint so that you can see underneath the color. Let me zoom in to get these areas here. Alright, there we go. Make this smaller to get these areas. There's my Mr. Fox. Okay. Alright, and let me do the ears. Actually, I'm going to paint the ears inside the ear a different color, so I didn't have to do that, but it doesn't matter. And his little hairdo. Anyway, and I'm amusing myself by looking at this Fox character. Anyway, guys, you're probably just thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? So right now, I've blocked in the base color of my Fox. There you go. Okay, so there's Mr. Fox. Now, I'm happy with that. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to make a new layer because I want to color in the eyes, I don't know, the ears and stuff. So, hold on a minute. Let's delete this bit here because it's meant to be white. It says shine. So, in my new layer, take my paintbrush again. I'm going to choose like a yellowish eye sort of thing, but not too dark, not too saturated, a bit lighter than normal. And oops, there we go. Okay, I'm not being neat and tidy or careful at all. I'm just doing this quickly so you can demonstrate to you what I'm doing. Watch this. Okay, look at that. I'm coloring the inside the ear, and I've already gone over this area here, which I wanted to be orange. Okay, so what I do is I just take the eraser. Don't worry, I haven't messed anything up because it's on another layer. That's the beauty of having layers. And then it's cleaned up now. Take my paintbrush and continue on this area here as well. Okay, just take my eraser and get rid of the paint that exceeded the area I wanted it to be. So there you go. So I just noticed here I missed a spot. Okay, so there's Mr. Fox. Okay, cool, huh? Okay, great. So let's say now I want to, I don't know, give him a bit of shade. Okay, this is where you can either make a new layer and start shading, or you can use the lock transparency. That's what I like to do. So I select the layer with the orange tone, and if you lock the transparency, what this means is that it locks anything you have done on this layer, which in this case is the orange paint. Okay, so I can do anything to it, but I can't do anything outside it. Okay, so everything white which is around it, I can't touch. Let me demonstrate. For example, let me choose a blue, a nice obvious color. Let me choose a bright blue. There we go. I'm gonna take my paintbrush, make it bigger. Watch this. I'm on the white area. As I'm pressing down, nothing happens. As I stroke through, though, it colors over the painted area. Look, I've got a blue Fox now. He actually looks quite cool, huh? I like this. Anyway, so that's the whole beauty of that, and I use that a lot for, especially for shading. So if I select my actual original tone, and I'm going to bring it down so make it darker, and take my airbrush, make it bigger as well. And I'm just going to slowly shade in that side there, maybe a bit under here as well, back of the ear here, you know, stuff like that. And I might actually even brighten it up a bit as well, so I can warm up the side area here, maybe his cheek area here, maybe even his nose area as it goes up. You know, so you can really play around with that. It's really, really cool and powerful tool to have to use is this transparency. The one thing you can't do is you cannot erase. That happens, okay? And you can't also drop the opacity either. You have to unlock it to be able to drop the opacity and to erase, okay? So that's how that works. You can also do the same thing with the line art. So if you select the line art, let's say I don't want to have a black outline. I want it to be more natural because you know, it's more normal to have something closer to the actual base color. You've never seen a person walking around with a black outline around them? No. All right, so select the color of the base and just bring it down a bit, okay? And then take your paintbrush and go over the line art. Look at that. Yeah, I just colored everything. Okay, so now it's gelled in together, but obviously you're gonna be more careful. I just went over the whole thing. I wanted a black nose, so I'm gonna go and put that back. All right, let me bring down the size. I wanted a black nose. I want my pupils to be black. Actually, what would it look like if I just did a black dot? Oh, that's okay. Alright, so we got our black eye pupils there as well. The tips here are black, so we want to keep it. Okay, same here as well. Alright, so the eyebrows, you know, everything has its tone. So there you go, there's Mr. Fox. Okay, and anything else? Yeah, I would also like to add a white glow to his eyes. I select the eye layer and add the nice white glow here on his eyes. Let me go back and do that a little bit better. There you go. Okay, so once you're happy with everything, merge down, merge all or merge down. What's it saying here? Warning, merging locked. Oh, something's locked. Which one's locked? I don't know what happened there. One of the layers must have been locked and just telling me that the layer was locked. So now I have everything on one layer and it's good to go. Watch it, I can move it around. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you use Sketchbook Pro 6, my style. I hope you enjoyed this. I do recommend it. Try it out. If you also head over to autodesk.com, you'll see there's a trial version, so you can test it out for like 30 days. Okay, so if you really like it, go ahead and buy it. It's very affordable. It's not expensive at all compared to other software. Very affordable and effective. Okay, I'm Paris Christie and I recommend it. Also, before I let you guys go, check this out. If you go to the help files, okay, this little button here, check for updates. I do this once a month. So if you click it, this happens. It's checking for updates of Sketchbook Pro because they usually upload different updates to make the experience better. Okay, or maybe new features and stuff. As you see here, it says you are up to date. You are currently running the newest version of Sketchbook Pro. So obviously, once a month, do that. Okay, it's great to make sure you have always the up to date with your software. Also, if you have questions, if you have problems, if you're stuck, if something's not working properly, or if you just want to say hi, great job guys. If you press this, ask a question, it goes to the website, Autodesk website, Sketchbook Pro website, and there's a little box where you can write a message and you're good to go there as well. And also this is my favorite, Sketchbook News. When you click it, watch this. It opens the opens the sketchbook.com. It's a website where it's like an online magazine, okay? And what it does is basically every month they put new stuff like tutorials or videos or showcasing someone's work and stuff. You know, it's great. Every month, get online and have a look at a few things. There's amazing stuff you'll see. I think I'm even on this. I think here you can see all the months on the right hand side. Okay. I think I was showcased once. Hold on, where is it? It was in December 2011, I think. If I go down a bit, there we are. There's Cherry. This was a little quick speed art I did, speed drawing of Cherry on YouTube for a Christmas December thing. And let's press it. Okay, and they showcased it on the website, which was great. I really enjoyed it, and I thank them for it. Whoops. As you can see, it has music as well. So yeah, every month, I actually am on this every week because I always like to see older articles and stuff like that. It's great. I'm being serious. So check Sketchbook, check that out as well. Also, go over to my website, check it out, toonboxstudio.com. My courses there. I'll be uploading more courses. One day it's going to be like this online cartoon boot camp with tons of courses that will help you grow as an artist, as a cartoonist, an animator, everything. So pop over to my channel if you're new to me. If you're watching this video on someone else's website or blog and stuff that they shared, you probably won't see the description below. So you want pop over to my YouTube channel so you can see the shortcuts to the Sketchbook Pro as well. All you gotta do is when you go to YouTube, just type in Toonboxstudio, okay, and you'll find my channel, okay. And find this video. It's gonna be called I don't know, Sketchbook Pro for beginners or something like that, or Introduction to Sketchbook Pro, Fundamentals. I don't know, something like that. You'll find it. And below you'll see the description of all the shortcuts to Sketchbook Pro. So let me put a .com here as well, although you can see the logo here. Alright guys, thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped you out, and Any questions, put it in the comments. Either I will answer them, or some of the subscribers might see it and answer it as well for you, because they got experience as well, man, trust me. So 2 thumbs up to Autodesk. Great job, guys. We're all huge fans, and I'll see you all on another video. Paris Christou, over and out. Bye bye.